2 days until SummerSlam. Let's talk predictions, winners, losers, debuts, returns, and more. Let's talk about the match that I think will kick off night one, that being Brock Lesnar versus Femi. And I really hope this doesn't kick off night one because I don't want it to be all tame because it's the first hour on ESPN. I want blood, I want gore, I want complete destruction. And I really pray to God that this is not a squash match, because the rubber match being a squash match would be truly terrible. It would be absolute garbage. And Femi should definitely be winning this. And, well, whether or not Brock Lesnar is going to retire, Oba needs to win this. And I think I can trust WWE enough that Oba will win this. They did it at WrestleMania, and they seem to understand that Femi can be a huge star. They seem to want him to be a huge star. So I think I can trust them, hopefully, knock on wood, to make the right decision, have Femi win. And I really, really hope, again, it is an absolute car crash and just complete and utter destruction. I don't think there's going to be any interference, any shenanigans, none of that. Just two absolute behemoths meeting off, just destroying everything in their path, and hopefully there is blood drawn. Then we have a match for the Women's World Championship between Liv Morgan and Io Sky. Well, this match has been very poorly built to, when it deserves so much better, and has been the secondary focus week after week when it's the biggest women's match coming from Raw. I am still excited for this match, and I know it is going to be an absolute banger, because you have Io frickin' Sky, the best wrestler on the planet, and Liv Morgan. I think in this match, you have to consider the possibility of both Stephanie Bakayed and Naomi returning. I think it's far more likely that Stephanie Bakayed returns, because if Naomi returns, that would imply that she's on Raw, and you know what, just forget that I was about to say that, because I was going to say she would be separated from Jimmy, but he is not on SmackDown, so I don't know what in the world I'm talking about. So either of those ladies could return. I do think it is more likely that Stephanie will return, and she is desperately needed in this women's main event scene on Raw, because it has been terrible without her. Literally ever since she left, it has been truly terrible. It's been absolute rubbish, mate. It's been garbage. And I do think that Stephanie will end up returning, so I am going to officially predict that. As for who wins, I feel like it could really go either way. But I really do think that Io Sky should be winning this. She didn't get a fair shake with her first women's title reign. Io hasn't either, Liv hasn't either, don't get me wrong. And I think at this point, you can't revive Liv's title reign. Just have her do something else. This title reign is doomed. I'd like to see Io Sky win it. Liv Morgan has won it like twice or something over the past couple years, and I just would like to see something a little bit newer. I don't think Liv winning necessarily is bad or the wrong decision, but out of personal preference, I think I would rather see Io win. But I think WWE wants Liv to win so that they can do Liv versus Stephanie again, maybe. I don't know. This could really go either way. Here's the thing. This all comes down to the Danhausen curse. If Liv stays cursed, she's losing. If she gets uncursed, she's winning. Because why would you uncurse her if you're not going to have her win? So, depending on what happens, you know what? Io Sky is absolutely winning this now that I think about it. Because the final episode of Raw before SummerSlam has already passed, and Liv Morgan is still very much cursed. So, Io is 100% winning this. So, Io wins, and Stephanie Bakayed returns. That is my final prediction. Then we have Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Now, I am surprisingly excited for this match. Gunther absolutely should win this. And I think that he will. I don't think WWE, even though they have made Gunther look so stupid over the past couple months, I don't think they're stupid enough to have Gunther lose. Now, that being said, I think Michael Hayes is stupid enough to have him lose, but I think the rest of the writers' room is smart enough to have Nick Aldis take the L here. So, as long as Michael Hayes does not decide the winner of this match, it is going to be Gunther, should be, and it will be. And Nick Aldis, quite frankly, doesn't need to win. He just needs to have a good performance, and it will be considered a win. And then it's a win for Gunther in the record books, and then a win for Nick Aldis in certain ways. Very excited to see Nick Aldis back in the ring. I do think that Drew McIntyre could return here. However, I think that's just overthinking it a little bit. I'm going to keep it straight, keep it simple. Gunther wins this. Then we have a 6-man tag match between the Bloodline, Jimmy J and Jacob, teaming up against the team of Royce Keys, Solo Sikoa, Solo Dolo, and LA Knight. Yeah. This match has been really well built to. WWE has put a lot of effort into this storyline. It's even gotten the main event of some shows of SmackDown and Raw. It's been put in the main event, I mean. But I think this match will be really entertaining. I think it'll be a lot of fun. 6-man tag matches or 6-woman tag matches generally aren't really ever bad, at least that I've seen. And I would really, really like to see this turn into kind of a tornado tag match towards the end. And I do think that Solo will end up turning on LA Knight, and Royce Keys, ultimately giving the Bloodline the win. And LA Knight will probably, of course, end up taking the pin because, fuck LA Knight. If you're Triple H, so yeah, don't think you should be, but I think you will be, and I think the Bloodline should and will end up winning because of Solo, and I think Solo in this new version of the Bloodline, it would be really interesting to see how he interacts with Jacob, considering they used to be together, then they had a huge rivalry. Jacob ended up losing that rivalry, actually, I think. How he interacts with the Usos, and of course Roman Reigns, especially with his new babyface-ish character. I think it would be super entertaining and really interesting to see how things go. You do have to consider, I think, the possibility of Zilla Fatu debuting here, but I don't think that'll end up happening. No other predictions for this one. The Bloodline wins with the help of Solo Sikoa turning on LA Knight. Yeah! And Royce Keys. Then we have a 6-woman tag match between the Bellas and Paige teaming up against Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Laney Reed, and Fallon Henley. Fatal Influence absolutely should be winning this. I don't think Laney Reed should have been taking a pin a week after winning the tag titles on SmackDown last week. That was absolutely ridiculous. Having her get pinned was completely unnecessary. Very glad to see Nikki Bella back, and I hope that we do eventually soon get a proper Bella Twins tag team title run. I do think that WWE sees the value in Fatal Influence at least a little bit because they gave them the tag titles, so I'm going to trust that they do have Fatal Influence win here as they should. And you also have to take in the possibility of the Bellas turning on Paige here. Maybe Paige takes the pin and that ends up making the Bellas mad. They turn heel on her and they go on a heel run. But I don't think that people are going to be booing the Bellas, even if they do turn heel. But I don't see WWE doing something very cool like that. So I'm just going to say that Fatal Influence ends up winning and no turns happen. Then we have the main event of night 1, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. The easy to find and hard to beat. Man, so the build to this match has been extremely subpar. The entire story is You hit me in the eye with the title. Was it an accident? Yes, it was an accident. Are you sure? Are you sure it was an accident? Yeah, it was an accident. Now I'm gonna shove you in the face. Listen, I like you, but I don't respect you. But you hit me in the eye. Like, it's so confusing. I don't think WWE even knows what this story is supposed to be about. I don't know. I don't think they even know what they're trying to do, the story that they're trying to tell. Cody brought up, like, it seemed like he hated him for like they were feuding for 3 separate reasons. Like, you have to pick one and go with it. But I have said this, and I'll say it again, if it gets us to a CM Punk or Cody Rhodes heel turn, I am all for it. I'm willing to let this garbage storyline go. Hopefully they run it back sometime, but I'm willing to let go of the bad build and all that if one of them turns heel at SummerSlam or very soon after. And I'm going to predict that one of them turns heel. As for which one, all signs point to Cody Rhodes turning heel, but I just don't see it. I don't think they have the balls to do it. I really, really don't. Would it be a big shock moment that WWE loves? WWE loves shock moments, and it would absolutely be that. Yes, but he sells too much merch. The kids love him too much. I just don't think they're brave enough to do it. So I'm going to say CM Punk ends up turning heel. And honestly, I think CM Punk's better as a heel from what I've seen. So I wouldn't mind CM Punk turning heel. I honestly might even prefer Cody Rhodes to turn heel because it would be so interesting. However, if Cody Rhodes turns heel, I'm okay with seeing him stay in the title scene. If he's not turning heel, get out. Get out! Because Cody Rhodes has won the title like 3 times over the past 2 years, and he has been champion like 80% of the time, and it's not entertaining anymore. So yeah, I'll say CM Punk turns heel. I'll say CM Punk wins, and I think he should win, like I said, because Cody is boring as this champion, and if Cody turns heel in the match, I'm open to the possibility of having Cody retain, or having Cody win. Sorry, but I'm gonna say CM Punk turns heel, and he will win, as he should. As for Randy Orton to return, I see if the thing is, if CM Punk turns heel, that means that him and Cody are probably going to continue their feud, right? Because Cody will be like, you didn't beat me clean. You had to kick me in my balls in order to beat me because I'm better than you. I challenge you to a match at Money in the Bank. And remember, I'm easy to find. Hard. They will probably continue it, right? So it wouldn't make very much sense for Randy Orton to return. However, a lot of things that they've done don't make sense, like having Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll get involved in the storyline, and having Randy Orton disappear after WrestleMania after punting Cody Rhodes. And plus, Randy said that he'll come back for number 15. If Cody doesn't have the title, why would he be going after Cody? So, I don't think Randy Orton's going to end up returning here, unfortunately. I would love if he did, don't get me wrong, I just don't see it happening. So just to be clear, CM Punk turns heel, he wins, as he should, and as he will, no Randy Orton returning. And I just thought about, what about Kevin Owens? Jesus fucking Christ. Now that, I think is honestly maybe even more realistic than Randy Orton. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy. So let's say Cody Rhodes remains a babyface and loses. Kevin Owens returns as a heel, attacks Cody Rhodes, we'll say. Oh my god, you know, I just thought of two. What if Randy Orton returns to attack Cody or something, and then Kevin Owens also returns to attack Randy and reignite their feud because that was his last feud, and they're why am I doing a scissoring motion with my fingers? Oh my god. There's a lot that could happen with either Randy Orton or Kevin Owens. I'm going to say nobody returns. None of that. I would love for either of them or both of them to return, but I don't think WWE is going to do something cool like that, honestly. So just to be clear, I think CM Punk wins, as he should, as he will, and turns heel on Cody Rhodes. Penta versus Gable. I think Chad Gable wins here. 100%. This should be the easiest layup you have of the entire show. Having Chad Gable win this, it is absolute perfect. It's a perfect full circle moment. Facing Penta in Penta's first match in the WWE, losing, that sending him down the spiral of the El Grande Americano saga, him turning into El Grande, getting injured, beating or losing to El Grande in the Mask vs. Mask match, revealing himself, learning the arts of Lucha Libre, and coming to respect it, ultimately becoming a babyface, going on an apology farewell tour, John Cena style, and now getting himself a title shot. It is absolutely perfect, especially, it's even more perfect if you want to go even deeper and even further, that the IC title is what drove him so crazy to turn heel in the first place, because he was just so focused on the title, he lost focus of everything else on the way, and now he could finally win it as a good guy. I mean, it does not get more perfect than this. And I think, hopefully, knock on wood, we can trust WWE to make the simple, easy, and right decision of having Chad Gable win this, winning his first singles title. As much as I love Penta as champion, Chad should be winning this. I don't think we'll have any interferences. I don't think we'll have any run-ins, debuts, or anything. But I really, really do hope this match gets 20 plus minutes, because they could put on a match of the freaking year, a match of the decade. This match could be generational. Next we have Dominik Mysterio versus Danhausen for 100,000 human monies on a pole match. I expect so much shenanigans in this match, and imagine the amount of shenanigans they have at a Backlash match, the amount of shenanigans they had at a Saturday Night's Main Event match. Just imagine that on a SummerSlam stage, how much shenanigans there's going to be. I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait for all the shenanigans. However, Dom absolutely needs to win this. He is being treated like shit. I mean, the last person to beat John Cena on a premium live event, double champion, triple champion for a little bit there with the AEW championship. I mean, he is treated like two completely different people compared to WWE. Like weekly shows like Monday on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown stuff, Friday Night SmackDown, than he is on AAA. On AAA, he is booked like 98 Steve Austin, getting 98 Steve Austin level pops. The biggest babyface in Mexico. Well, maybe not babyface anymore because he turned on El Grande Americano, but booked like a uber super mega star. Yeah, but on the main roster, he is wiping his ass and flossing with a Knicks jersey, getting chokeslammed through a table by Karl Anthony Towns, a basketball player. I mean, quite frankly, in 2026, his booking on the main roster has been embarrassing. There's really no excuse for it. Just straight up embarrassing. Your potential future of the WWE, one of your future cornerstones of the WWE, getting booked like shit is unacceptable, and he should 100% be winning this 10 times out of 10. I don't care about Danhausen's undefeated streak. He should be winning this, but he is absolutely not going to. There is no chance that they are going to have Danhausen take a loss. Danhausen's currently 17-0, I believe, on the main roster, or in WWE, and well, they have the perfect excuse to have Dom win, using the help of JD McDonough. Hell, he could use the help of Liv Morgan. He could use the help of Raquel, Roxanne. You could use the entire Judgment Day. I don't care if you have to throw in everybody from the Judgment Day like it's Oba, Femi, or something. You have to take all 5 of those ladies to beat Danhausen. Go ahead. Do it. You want to protect Danhausen that much, just do it. But have Dom win, please. For the love of God. But Dom's losing, 100%. Maybe we see Zombie, Kit, Will, Sun, Zombie, Miz, I don't know. But Dom should be winning this, but Danhausen's gonna win this. And I predict some crazy ass shenanigans. Hell, maybe Justin Jefferson gets involved in this match. I really wouldn't be surprised. And you bet your buns that I would pop for Justin Jefferson. Then we have a United States Championship match between Trick Williams, Mr. Lemon Peppa Steppas, going up against Baron Corbin. Don't know why Carmelo Hayes isn't in this match. Maybe he can get added this tomorrow on Friday. This Friday, make it a triple threat, but I doubt it. Why? Couldn't tell you. It's not like Baron Corbin's a bigger star. Maybe they just want Trick Williams to beat a reliable name. But the thing is, you can still have him beat a reliable name while also having Carmelo Hayes in the match. You make this a triple threat match, you can still have Trick Williams pin Baron Corbin, you protect Carmelo Hayes, you have Trick Williams beat a reliable name in the process, and Baron Corbin, whatever, they're not going to push him or anything, so it's a win for everybody. It's not going to hurt Baron Corbin. So really no excuse for no Carmelo Hayes here, but I do think Trick Williams will 100,000,000% be winning this match, as he should be. Just really wish Carmelo Hayes was in the match, but there is no reason, absolutely no reason, to be having Baron Corbin win this match. Maybe Mello comes out after the match or something, but I don't think so. I think this is just going to be a straight up clean win for Trick Williams, and he should be winning this, and I think he will be, rightfully so. Then we have a number 1 contenders match for the undisputed WWE Championship between Finn Balor and Samuel Zayn. Now, I really like that they just kind of threw this match on there at the end, and I could see either of these guys winning this. You could make a good case for both. Finn Balor has taken 3 wins in a row, I believe, which is probably a record, an all-time record for him on the main roster. You could have Finn win to send Sami further down this crazy spiral. You could have Sami win because it's logical. He deserves the title shot. So I really could see this going either way. If I have to pick one, though, I think I'll go with Sami Zayn, because as much as I'd love to see a Finn Balor push, I've watched WWE long enough to know that ain't happening. Sorry to break it to you, Finn Balor fans, but I really don't think it's going to happen. I think there's a chance, but I think Sami Zayn will end up winning this. He deserves a title shot. I don't think there will be any outside interference. However, I do think Sami Zayn could win via shenanigans, maybe a low blow, maybe something like that, because he is obviously desperate to get a title shot. But what I do know is this match is going to be an absolute banger. So I'll say Sami Zayn wins in some sort of dirty, heelish way. Then we have a ladder match for the Women's Interim WWE Women's Championship. There is still one spot, sorry, my mic cut out there, that we do not know who will fill. It is going to be either Julia or Lash Legend. So I'll predict that too real quick. I think Lash Legend will win it as much as I think Julia should. I think Lash Legend's going to end up winning it, and I think she is going to be an actual real threat in this match. So that leaves us with Lash versus Chelsea versus Tiffy Time versus Jade versus Charlotte. Do I want WWE to experiment and do something cool and new with a Chelsea Green, with a Lash Legend, with a Julia? Yes, absolutely. Do I think they're going to? Hell to the no. I think they're going to go right back to a kind of just boring choice, quite frankly. I am going to be rooting so hard for Chelsea Green. She is absolutely the best available option for this match. She's the absolute best option. And I really hate that they took off at least one really good match that everybody wanted to see, but possibly, likely even two, one of them being Blake versus Tiffy. It was revealed that was originally planned for SummerSlam. Why are we not doing that? You don't need to have Tiffany Stratton in this match. And they also probably scrapped Jade versus Charlotte for this match. Why? Literally, why? You only have 3 women's matches on the card. If you added those 2, that would bring you up to 5, which is nearly half the card. You could have easily done a women's interim championship ladder match without Charlotte, Jade, Tiffy, or Blake. You could have had, I'll give you 5 right now. I'll give you Jordynne Grace, JC Jane, Julia, Kiana James, and Lash Legend. Boom. That easy. And that way, no matter who wins, you get a brand new, never before seen, exciting new option as women's interim champion. This is the picture perfect time to experiment with a new young talent as champion, because they're just going to hold it for like a month and then Rhea Ripley's going to come back and have the title. But no, why would they do something fun like that? They have to take 2 dream matches off the card just to put them in this match. You want to pack the match with star power? This match doesn't need star power. Ladder matches are almost never bad, no matter who's in them. You don't need every match to have crazy star power. How about you make a new star? How about that, WWE? You ever considered that one? Who should win this? It absolutely should 100 million bajillion % be Chelsea Green. Will she be winning it? Hell no, absolutely not. I think it's just going to go... It's between... I don't think it's going to be Lash, because WWE just doesn't see her as a good champion, probably. They probably just want to go to the old reliable. I don't think it's going to be Tiffy, because she's already the US champion and already set up a feud with Blake Monroe. As much as I would like Tiffy 2 titles, I don't think it's going to happen. So it comes down to Jade or Charlotte. I guess I'll say... Man, that's really tough. I guess I'll say Jade. Just... so that when Rhea comes back, I assume she's going to continue her feud with Jade and finish it off and get the trilogy match. And that way Rhea can bring up that she only won the title when she wasn't here, or something like that. So I'll say Jade Cargill wins, but it should 100 million % be Chelsea Green. I don't think we'll get any returns or debuts or anything, just Jade Cargill winning. Now we have the main event between Roman Reigns and Seth freaking Rollins. First big question I have here: does the Bloodline get involved? Seth Rollins insulted Roman's family. He didn't target the wrestler part of his family. He targeted his wife and kids. He didn't. However, he did say at the SummerSlam kickoff show, "I'm the people's champ if you smell what I'm cooking," which is obviously a reference to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm just kidding. It's obviously a reference to The Rock. So, could The Rock be returning? I'll talk about The Rock returning in a minute, but I don't think that the Bloodline will get involved, but I think there's a chance, because they've kind of separated Roman and the rest of the Bloodline into 2 separate mini universes, which I like. I love overbooked main events. I love all these run-ins, but this match shouldn't be that. This match should be one-on-one and Roman and Seth only. But it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Bloodline gets involved, but I don't think they will ultimately. So I'll continue my prediction with that assumption. But if the Bloodline does get involved, I think there's a chance, a very strong chance that Zilla Fatu will debut. But for my actual prediction, I think Roman Reigns will end up winning this. And I think he should be, because this entire title reign is seemingly him proving every doubt wrong. It's supposed to be him showing he can do everything on his own, to make him the undisputed GOAT, to show he can have a great long title reign without the help of the Bloodline. that was examined by him beating CM Punk clean, all on his own. That was examined by him beating Jacob Fatu on his own, beating him twice on his own. You know, this title reign, it's kind of exercising all the demons that haunt him. And one of those demons is obviously the fact that he's never been able to beat Seth Rollins when it truly mattered. And I do think that would be a blemish on Roman's legacy. And I think Roman should beat Seth, because Roman will also have the bigger matches. He'll have the better matches. And that opens the possibility of Roman versus Rock or Roman versus Oba for the title at WrestleMania 43. It would be interesting to see Seth Rollins as champion, but I just think Roman Reigns would overall be better. Now, do I predict that The Rock will return? Here's the thing. There's a lot of signs that point to The Rock returning. Let me give you some. Number 1, Smashing Machine and Moana, the live-action Moana, were both box office flops, so The Rock is not doing good in Hollywood. Him not doing very good in Hollywood makes it much more likely that he comes back to the WWE, because if he's making plenty of money in Hollywood, why would he come back to the WWE? Number 2, WWE wants to make, this is a report, WWE wants to make SummerSlam a bigger event than WrestleMania. And their booking shows that. Their booking supports that. Booking dream matches like Roman versus Seth, like Punk versus Cody, like Brock versus Oba. Number 3, WWE loves viral moments. They love big moments that get lots of views on social media. Would The Rock do that? Absolutely. Number 4, The Rock probably wants to have a match with Roman Reigns. And I'm sure Roman and Triple H want that too. Saudi Arabia probably wants The Rock. And if the match happens, it'll probably be at WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. So lots of things point to The Rock returning. And this might, call me naive, call me stupid, call me too hopeful, but I'm a Vikings fan. I'm used to that. I'm saying The Rock returns. And I'm going to say he returns after the match, faces off with Roman Reigns, and that is how SummerSlam goes off the air. So, yeah, I'm calling it. Hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully he actually returns. But, yeah, my final prediction, Roman wins all on his own. The Rock returns after and either attacks him or faces off with him. He just returns and does something with Roman Reigns. But yeah, that's going to be it for my SummerSlam 2026 predictions. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and